first graders have been learning a lot about where we live in the world. We hope you enjoy our continent song.
My name is Alexander Stevenson, and I went on a field trip with my fellow second graders to the aquarium. We saw many fish and other species and learned much we didn't know. Then, for our science project, we learned about fish and had to write a report. Then we had to draw two fish exactly alike, put one on our report and one in this glass bottom boat as you see behind me. Now, there are many other things besides our fish twins in this boat. As well, there are fish twins as well as clay impressions, shells, these different crabs and turtles and fish over there, and lobster traps over here. If you'd like to look at anything, you're free to do so.
This scuba diver is stuffed and he's stuffed out of, I think, Kleenex, and he's just sit down right here, and he just came out of the water, and there's a turtle at his side, and it's got a super diver, and here are some science projects about when we went to the New England Aquarium.
My mother made my dress, and she made it for the science fair because we were doing it on fish, and she went out and bought me these earrings also. And I had this bow in my hair for the science fair also, and we did fish projects. My name is Holly, and this is our aquarium things that we made. There's fish in there, shells, and they're made out of Pepsi bottles, too. My name's Stephanie, and we did it on the seas and oceans. And here's some shells from the Pacific Ocean.
and the Atlantic Ocean. And this is what they look like inside. And this is my friend Jessica and Rochelle.
Hi, my name's Rochelle Jones.
And here's some whales in the ocean. There's a little graph right here that which they are. And this one is a, what's that say?
Endangered.
Endangered whale. This one is a vulnerable whale. This one is a vulnerable whale. And this one is an unknown whale. This one is an endangered whale. This one's an endangered whale also. And this one is too. This one's, what's that? What?
Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean.
Here are the shells from the Atlantic, and these are some shells from the Pacific. These are the Pacific, and that's the Atlantic.
Hi, my name is Tony, and we did our project on planets.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm going to tell you about planets. A planet is a heavenly body that orbits or moves around a star. The planets move differently than the stars become the planets are moving around the sun. These are our planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Hi, my name is Leanne Shirley, and I did the planets with Megan and Tony. This is about Mercury. Mercury is the fastest planet in the solar system. One day, Mercury lasts as long as 59 days on Earth, but a year on Mercury is only 88 days long. One orbit around the sun. This as a cannon larger than our Grand Canyon. There's a 700 opening that might be the volcano. It is a volcano. It may be the largest in the solar system.
I'm going to Mars. Earth. As Earth orbits the sun, you are traveling at 6,000 miles or hour on the side away from the sun. Is the night. All life on the Earth depends on liquid water and the kind of atmosphere we have.
Down here we have a poster of all the planets in the sun. This is Pluto. This is the Earth. This is Mars. This is Jupiter. This is Mercury, Venus. This is the Sun, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. My name is Kristen. Let Sarah help me. We did rocks and crystals. And these are different kinds of rocks and what's inside them. And these are sugar crystals that we made, and those are crystals that, those are regular crystals. Those are more of rocks and what's inside them. And these are birthstones. A March birthstone is an aquamarine, and April is a diamond, May is an emerald, June is a pearl, and it's a moonstone, July is a ruby, October is an opal, November is a topaz, and December is a turquoise.
Do you want to tell how to make the crystals?
My name's Stephanie, and I did my project on rocks. There's 3 kinds of rocks: the igneous rock, the sedimentary, and the metamorphic. There's a pumice is a volcanic rock, and there's gray granite. This used to be gray granite, and this is pink granite and basalt. Igneous rocks used to be liquid molten rock. Volcanic. The word about them is volcanic. They came to the surface, to the air, and cooled fast. They have small minerals, crystals, if they cooled fast. If they cooled slow, they have large crystals. And this is the sedimentary rocks. This is shale, conglomerate, coquina, sandstone, mudstone, and sedimentary rocks formed as sand and sediment. Filtered through water, they looked layered. They may have fossils too, because the sandstone has some fossils in here. Right there is a teeny fossil. And this is a metamorphic rock. They're changed rocks. And this is slate, used to be a metamorphic rock. This is gneiss and schist mica, and there's little pieces of mica coming out, and that's what's mica. And this is the schist garnet, and garnets are the red, tiny things, rocks in the tiny minerals in the rock. And they are changed rocks. They were another kind of rock. Once they were changed by being reheated or by pressure. Example, shale used to be got changed into being slate, and gray granite changed into being gneiss.
Hi, this is a kindergarten report, and they did it on caterpillars and monarch butterflies. And as you can see, the afternoon kindergarten class did things we know about caterpillars and butterflies. They made a list. And then they did estimation, afternoon, and morning kindergarten did how long it takes a caterpillar to stay in a cocoon and how long it's going to be turning into a butterfly. And they have, can you guess how many caterpillars are in the see-through cocoon? They're going to ask everybody to sign a sheet of paper asking, how many can you find there? And the second graders donated their caterpillars to the kindergarten class right now because they're doing a project also. And there's a very hungry caterpillar, and in this book it tells you how long it takes a caterpillar to turn into a monarch butterfly. The morning kindergarten did the butterfly book that they made, and then they did out of eggshells, they made their own little caterpillars. And they did out of bingo daubers, they made the butterflies and some more butterflies in their art projects.
I'm Billy McGarry, and I did the tropical rainforest. And this is a poster of some things that are in the rainforest. This is a scientist studying flowers.
My name is Sean Casey, and
tell me what's in the rainforest. What plants are in the rainforest?
Fern, and some tropical flowers and some bugs on a lake, and that's all. And there's other stuff, plants.
My name is Jackie Rubino, and I did it on the desert caracal. This is the bone structure, and this is how the claws move in and out. And this is just a key that tells what the colors of the things in the arms are. And this is the eyes in the daytime and the eyes in the nighttime.
My name is Andrew Holland, and I did volcanoes. And this is a poster of the habitat around it, what it looks before an eruption and after an eruption. And down on the bottom, there are some famous eruptions that happened. One of them was Mount Venus, and that erupted in Italy in the year 79. One was Krakatoa. It erupted in Indiosa in 1903. Mount St. Helens was another one, and it erupted in Washington in the year 1980. And another one was Mount Pinatubo, which erupted in the Philippines in 1992. And this is a model of a half-cut of a volcano. And see, it's mostly cracked around the edges, and inside it's all curved and smooth. And the lava, which is about 5 warmer than it's as warm as the core of the earth. That's how warm it can get when it erupts.
My name is Peter Hogan. These are lava rocks. When volcanoes erupt, after the lava dries up and they turn into these lava rocks.
And I did life in the rainforest, and these pictures show some life in the rainforest of animals, plants, and bugs, and all sorts of little animals. And this is a map of some places where rainforests are in the world, and the biggest one is in South America. And these pictures show life in the rainforest, and this shows a bear looking for a meal. And here are some of the fruits that are in the rainforest. And rainforests shelter more than half of the Earth's plant and animal species. And at least 3,000 fruits are found in rainforests. This is what is kind of like what a rainforest does. And I made it by taking a plastic bottle and putting some dirt and grass and watering it a little bit and putting it in the sun. And it sort of makes what a rainforest looks like.
It's Mark Stewart, and I did the oil spill on Route 93, which occurred September 30th, 1992. And I did a model of 93 and the tanker and how it occurred in Ipswich River, and the trucks, the cars backed up behind the Ipswich River, and you can see that the tanker is flipped over onto the car and going into the swamp, and it goes underground into the water, and these trucks here pick up the oil and take it off to landfills or asphalt plants. And the Ipswich River and the truck, well, it happened early in the morning when a car on Route 93 slid in front of an oil tanker and it flipped over, and then around the clock, Wilmington response teams saved the day.
My name is Andy Yee, and I did static electricity. When I turn this on, there will be a noise like it's making right now.
When these lights light up, that means it's charged. So when it's charged, I'll press this down, you'll see a spark. The lights are on right now, and I'm gonna press this down. And that is static electricity.
My name is Jason Mann, and I didn't electricity. When you turn the switch, the light will turn on. And it's charged from a 6-volt battery through the wires and into the flashlight.
My name is Amanda Von Harmon, and I'm doing bittersweet. American bittersweet is a very twisty, grasping vine. It can hold onto lots of things, and it has lots of different kinds of leaves. Then they're kind of like greenish, and the tiny ones on the roots are dark green, and the berries get orangish. Sometimes it wraps around things, and so it's so twisty that you can make things out of it, like wreaths and baskets. And it wraps around houses and stuff, and it's very hard to clip, like here.
My name is Zachary Colley, and I did my project on archaeology. The definition of archaeology is the study of human antiquities. As you can see, they have roped off, they have a grid pattern, so they know exactly where the bones were found. And so when they go to get registered, they all try and put it in order, and that's how you see dinosaur bones in a museum. And they found some other things, old-fashioned bullet, some gold, an arrowhead, a quartz, and some certain rock. I did the crane, and a few guys are standing around just in case. And that's a...
Hi, my name is Kristen Silva, and I did the solar system. The solar system is made up of the sun, the planets, and all the other bodies that revolve around it. My name is Jennifer Gillis, and we're doing it on fossils, gems, rocks, and shells. How fossils are formed. When animals got trapped in the tar in a desert in California long ago, and if they got stuck, they could be fossilized if they could not get out. And tar is one of the many ways to preserve animals. Other ways of prevention are freezing, oilification or something like that, being mummified, which means natural mummies. These mummies are formed by destination or drying.
Hi, my name is Dawn Lemke. How fossils get their names. A great deal of plants and animals have become fossilized. In order to study them, they have to be put into different groups. Scientists say they have grouped them into a plant and animal kingdoms. Within these groups, they have divided into smaller groups or classes. This process goes on and on until everything found has name. This is why scientists use Greek or Latin names, because these languages are considered dead languages. These languages have not been changed for us to use today.
My name's Sarah, and I did mainly shells, but this is all of our projects. Did you know that seashells are home to animals? They are called mollusks or premium mollusca. This refers to their lacking a backbone and having soft bodies. Like people, different places on Earth have different shells. Some mollusks eat vegetables. Some eat meat. Some people eat mollusks. Squid octopuses are mollusks, but they don't have shells. There are more than 75,000 species that have been on Earth for more than 500 million years. I don't know the name of it, but it's sort of a cool shell because it has things in it. And
this is my partner, Mike Harrod, and we're doing some states of New England. Here it shows, in the red markings, it shows the capitals of all the states. We did Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. And down here it has the state symbols, the government, geography, and the leading projects. Right up here it shows the highest points in the states. And Maine, it's Mount Katahdin. It's 5,268 feet, and it's letter C, which is right there. And it shows the same thing with every other state all around here. All states. It shows and it shows where we live.
And I did my project on dwarf rabbits. I did my project on dwarf rabbits, and these are pellets and alfalfa and shredded carrots, and this is my friend's dwarf rabbit, and they do the pictures of them, and that's a close-up picture of a rabbit hole. And
My name's Stephen Natoli, and down here we have some more pictures of my rabbit thumper, and we have a picture of the trees and the different routes of what the rabbit might make here, and the ears are black around the edges of them, and then what's that?
Program, and I did my report on cats.
Were invented about 70 BC or 2,000 years ago. They were first probably used in the Roman Empire. Water wheels gave man his first use of energy without muscle power. The water wheels convert energy of the flowing water into a motion. The two types of water wheels are an overshot water wheel, which is directed over the top of the water wheel. Second type is an undershot. The lower half of the wheel is immersed in water. One is about 70% to 90% efficient. Two is about 30% efficient. The water wheel was used to grind corn and grains. Turbines replaced the water wheels in the second half of the 19th century.
Domingo, and my project is birds. I learned that some birds can stay in the same place some birds stay in the same place all throughout the year. And I'm working with my partner, Kathleen Walsh.
Hi, I'm Kathleen. I learned about hummingbirds and ostriches and egrets. And the hummingbird has, the hummingbird's nest is 1.5 inches wide, and the hummingbird is 2 inches. The female is 1/4 inch longer than the male is.
Ryan, and my project is on earthquakes, and my partners are Brian and Kyle, and we have some information on where earthquakes take place. They take place in the Earth's crust 5 to 30 miles deep. Cracks in the rocks called faults run through the crust. When strength builds up, energy is released, causing the rocks to snap past each other.
What are plates? Plates are movements that have cracked the crust, like the eggshell. There are 9 different plates. One plate, called the Pacific Plate, has had the most earthquakes. Most of the occurred on the boundary near Asia.
Types of faults or movements. One fault is called a dip-slip fault. Is when one rock slips higher than another. Another movement is called a strike-slip fault. It's when parts of the crust slip past each other in a sideways movement. How Earth thousands of miles away. The tremor shows a wiggly line. The bigger the quake, the larger the wiggle.
What is the San Andreas Fault? The San Andreas Fault is the boundary line between the North America and the Pacific Plates. It is found south of San Francisco, California. It winds 700 miles through California, where it dives miles under the Pacific Ocean. It slashes under houses from dams, from farms, cities in under 200 million people.
Earthquake looks after an earthquake, and this is where the earthquake takes place. And these are pictures of the San Andreas Fault, and this is part of a seismograph.
My project is on plants, and this is the book I got my project from. Plants are very important. This is a poster I did on them. And this plant has no light, so it's kind of wilting. This plant had to look for light. This plant was grew straight because it had light. It wasn't in a bag. And some plants are for medicine, some plants are for food, some plants give shade, and plants give birds and animals places to live and rest. And we did the project on rocks.
My name is Andrew Petrillo. Some rocks made of mud, water, and sand. And this rock can scratch glass. and most rocks are delicate, like mica and all different kinds of rocks. The rocks are in different shapes and sizes. Most of them are different colors.
All right, let me get a picture of you two looking at me then. Good, okay, that was good.
Miss Saul, I did my project on magnets, and I can make a paperclip come out of water without getting my hands wet. And I can make a chain of balls float. As you can see, I'm only holding one. But the magnet's power is floating through the air onto the ball bearings. Now I can make a paperclip float.
My name's Jolene Barry. This is Katie. This is Katie Sullivan, and this is Heather Roberts. We're doing hermit crabs. And this poster right here is about their relatives. This one of the relatives is a tree crab. And this is a picture of one, and this is how the tree crab got its name. And right here are some of the other some of the other relatives or cousins, like a swimming crab, a spider crab, a masked crab, even a ghost crab, a hairy porcelain crab too, and sea anemones. Sea anemones. They have they grow on their shell. That like when the enemies come, they'll help the hermit crab get back into its shell and spread out. And here's Katie. And over here, there's and right at the end, at the corner, there's a hermit crab. What he would do if an enemy would come, and he would block the shell with his big claw, so nothing could get in. And right here, a hermit crab is checking out a new shell for the right size and its shape. And then over there it just shows a hermit crab. And right here is a hermit crab. Another thing we learned is that they eat all sorts of like meat, vegetables. If they were in the ocean, they mostly find their food like they eat dead animals and stuff. And we learned that like here's another hermit crab right here. Yeah, he likes climbing. And we have like a few branches in there and stuff. And so they even eat some cereals in here. If they grow out of their old shell. This one would be first because it has a wide opening and it's nice and large. This one would be second because it's nice and light, it has a wide opening, and it's spiral. This one's third because it does have a nice opening, but it is sort of heavy that they wouldn't want to carry it around. This one's fourth because it's a little bit smaller than the others, but it's still a good shell. This one's fifth because this one's
very small, and if a hermit crab was big and trying to fit it into a different one, then it might not be able to fit in here. And this one's sixth because it does have a wide opening, but it's heavy, and because it's heavy, it has layers of it on the shell, and it's a little too rough.
Okay, we did ours on her hamster, and right here, these are what he likes to do in his cage. He likes to hang upside down. He likes to crawl on the bars. He likes to chew on them. Right here is some other things that he likes to chew on. Right here is his food that he likes, and she will tell you.
Right here is his cage, and I made the map key. And this is his cage when he gets cleaned. We put him in that one. And the hamster's name is Jerry. And these two types of seeds are the popcorn seeds and the sunflower seeds. And this is Jenny McNeil, and I'm Amanda Carrigan.
Brain. There's 5 parts of the human brain, and there's 12 nerves of the human brain, and this tells about the human brain. And my name is Laura Francis, and
My name is Kelly Gillis. This tells about the speech. These are the parts of the brain: the speech, the smell, hearing, speech, reading, and seeing, working of the feel of the body.
My name is Colleen McMahon, and I did my science project on tulips. Tulips came to Europe from Turkey in the 1500s. In Michigan and Holland are best known for their tulips. If you planted a seed and you wanted to grow a tulip bulb, it would take 4 years to grow. I have a tulip bulb right here that you could plant, and it would probably grow a tulip. Kuvanoff Gardens grow more than 200 flowers, different kinds of tulips a year. In the morning, the tulip opens and can hear and can feel the sun. And at noon, the tulip can fully feel the sun. At night, the tulip closes up. Right here is the parts of how a tulip grows. Here's the bulb, and here's the bulb getting roots and a stem, and then it has a few more steps, and it becomes a tulip.
This is Lindsay McKenna, and I did my project on shells. I learned that there are 3 different kinds of shells. There are the bivalves, univalves, and Tusker 2 shells. Shells are also used for other things like jewelry and horns. And I did my project on the Earth structure. Here is the crust, and I have a little plant coming out of this jar and the crust layers. This is the boundary of the core, and this is the inner core.
My name is Ariana, and the middle of the Earth structure is this green part, slight green part around here. And the outer core is this yellow part around the inner core. And here, right here is the top soil, and the sand layer, and the clay area is right here, and the granite layer is right here.
Is Vanessa Reynolds, and we're doing our project on shells, rocks, and gems, and this is our project.
You didn't say what name, what room you were in.
Oh, my, our room number is 113.
Yeah. My name is Lauren Jadinsky, and I did my project on shells, rocks, gems, fossils. And I'm in room 13. The amethyst. This is the desert gypsy rose. This is the granite with traces of mica, Oregon thunder egg, polished gemstones, unidentified backyard rocks, Atlantic queen slipper shells, true limits, and here's some barnacles.
My name is Jeff. I did rocks. I learned that and some rocks are made out of mud and soil and gravel. And
gases. If you take some baking soda and put it into a container, and the baking soda is a base, and you mix it in with vinegar, which is an acid, it changes its color. Uh-oh. Okay. It's fizzing. It's a little more vinegar. It doesn't look like vinegar anymore. I'm gonna put some vinegar in here. And now I'm gonna put in some baking soda. Or it should. Oh. And now I'm going to put in some baking soda. I'll put the cork in.
That was good. All right, who should add the solar?
Stand back. It should pop out.
Okay, and our project is on coins. The most interesting thing that I learned is how far back the coins went. The oldest that we're noted by is from the 7th century BC. My name is David Aronofsky. I did coins too. And the most interesting thing that I learned is coins from before now were different. Like, look at this Indian head nickel. It looks different than the nickel that we have right now. And this is my partner, Danny McCarthy. We did solar energy. This is if you want to heat your pool water, heat the water in a hot water heater. But what happens is this pipe right there sucks up the pool water, and then it goes into these panels through these little pipes, and since it's black, it absorbs the sun's heat, and it heats the water going through the little pipes, and then it goes back down there into your pool, so it heats the pool water. This is how you can heat your water in your house. This tank usually is filled with water,
and there's a pipe that leads up to these solar panels, and it's basically the same thing. Since it's black, it heats the water going through the panels, and the light color makes it run through the panels. So it goes through the pipes, back down into the tank, and it heats your water when you can store your water. And this is photovoltaic panels. It turns the sun's light into electricity. So there's a battery down here, but I need some light to make it run. And the battery can make it run like an electric car or any other object that you need to have a store for electricity for. Same thing as one of these, but just a little smaller one. It's just a small thing. It's what happens is the sun's light gets trapped in here, goes through the glass, and then gets trapped in here. And usually there's water running through these pipes in here, and it just heats the water going through. The sun usually has an opening spot to go through, and it heats the water. These just a small example. What happens is the water runs through these big pipes, and then it goes through these little ones. And since it's black, it absorbs the sun's heat, and it heats the water going through the little pipes. And it can heat your pool water.
Hi, my name is Brian Roberts, and I did my project on the moon. This is the moon and the Earth, how far it will be away. And this is my poster. And here's a book about the men on the moon and my report. And this is the lunar module that the people land on when they go in.
My name is Danny Tall. I did it on Saturn. As you can see, there's a picture that shows Saturn versus Jupiter. Saturn has 30 years to orbit, 10 hours and 14 minutes a day. Jupiter is 12 years to orbit, 10 hours a day. This is a map of where Saturn is on it. It's right there. This is a picture of Saturn.
That project on Jupiter, Saturn, Earth, and Mars, and I'm trying to demonstrate the sizes between those planets. And there's a picture of Saturn that I got out of a calendar, and the reports are up on the wall too. And that's it.
I did this on the orbit of Pluto. See, it has a weird orbit that Neptune right now is the outer planet. But in 1999, they'll get back in their regular orbits. We're done.
I did my project on the rainforest. Most of the rainforests are in Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. And this is what the illustrations are. That's what I did for mobile. And here's a report up there.
I did a project on rocks and minerals, and I'm Joey Rano, and I have my reports right here. I have a poster of all the rocks and stuff, and a sample of the rocks, and that's what I use to get all the information out of.
My name is Amanda Guston. We did our project on rainforests. Here we have a map where the rainforests are. There's a blue or green star in each country where the rainforests are. We have a poster about the endangered animals in the rainforest. We have the kind of animal and then the species. Back here we have 2 color handouts and our report. We have a diagram back here that Jackie's going to tell you about.
This is a diorama of before the coming of machinery and after. This is 100 years before the coming of machinery. The forest is peaceful and there is no sign of civilizations except for the Native Americans. And this is 300 years after the coming of machinery. The lakes are now places to store toxic waste and trash. And the rainforest is now a place to put skyscrapers and other buildings. Thank you.
About the solar system. These are the sizes of all the planets. This is mine and Matt's chart
with the diameter, the mass, the distance from sun, the gravity, and the number of moons each planet has. This is a map of all the planets in order that Matt did, and this is our report.
We have about 14 or 15 pages in this report, and that's all.
And this is my project. I did it on life underwater, and if you look up here and see numbers on the fish, and you look down here, it'll tell you the name of the fish. And I got some photographs of fish over here, and I got my report right here on fish. And I did my project on endangered animals, and these are some of the animals. I did the orangutan, giant otter, manatee, Siberian tiger, blue whale, and panda bear. And these are some extinct animals, endangered animals, and threatened. And this is my report on endangered animals.
And I did my project on the solar system. Symbols of the planets and the distances from the sun. And this is my project.
Supposedly it keeps dripping the water, drowning in itself. It keeps dripping the water right down into the plant. And that's how they water the bottom of the plant. This here is called Shana. Where's Shana? Shana, what's this word say? Do you know? All the heads doing it. Okay, can you move your head that away for a minute? It's a hard word. You can't read it. I'll help you. Do you know what it says?
Casey Wynn. We decided to do a project on endangered species, and we also made shirts. We did elephants, bald eagles, cheetahs, and sharks, and we made out of clay. And here's a map of where elephants live. And we also made a little box with endangered animals.
I'm Allison Dugan. We did our report on Black history.
Hi, I'm Laura Owen. The three people we did it on was Martin Luther King Jr., Harriet Tubman, and Rosa Parks.
Antarctica by Keith Long, Jamie Holden, and Joey Cotto. For several hundred years, from about 8100, geographers have believed there was a large continent in the far south. Here. Now you keep their thickness because they are fed by the snow which settles on the surface. Oh, crap. Antarctica has active volcano named Mountain Erebus. Antarctica is bordered the Atlantic Ocean, yeah. Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Also bordered by the Sea, the Ross Sea, and the Little Sea.
O'Brien. I'm doing my minds on solar system and constellations. Well, I was born on Scorpio constellation, and I got this thing, which was for my report. And there's 9 planets in the solar system. Okay, the sun is in our center of our solar system, named for our sun and all our space object traveling around it.
I did a project on the solar system. I have a mobile with all the planets on it. This is the sun. This is Mercury. This is Venus. This is Earth. This is
Mars. This is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I also have a map of the solar system, and this is my report. Okay.
Sal Quinton, and I have my science project friends with me. They are Mark Salazzo, Josh Hiltz, and Mike McNeil. And I will read the first paragraph about the interesting facts about Saturn. Like Jupiter, Saturn is almost all hydrogen and helium with mixed methane, ammonia, phosphorus, and very cold and sulfur. The uppermost atmosphere is very cold, 285 degrees below zero. The temperature and pressure rise quickly. The deeper you go, the thousands of miles deep the gas becomes a molten goo.
Okay. And me and my father, and me, Al, Mark, and Mike, and my father made this out of paper mache. And then we colored it with spray paint and markers. We made the rings out of cardboard and colored them with markers.
Hi, I'm Mike McNeil, and we made this chart with all the planets, diameter in miles, average distance from Saturn in million miles, average distance from the sun in million miles, number of moons, number of days to go around the sun, time it takes to turn on its axis days, speed in orbit around the sun in miles per hour, and we did this mobile too.
When we worked on the snowmobile at his house, we had to paint all these, and we painted them by hand, and we made the things up there out of coat hangers and trash bags.
Hi, my name is Michelle Lemus, and I did my project on the eye. And the part of the project that I did handouts which says how light affects the eye and what you can do. And I did a report about the eye. And it says, and it's called Eye, the Organ of Vision, and then how you see and what happens to your eye in the dark, and then there's a glossary at the end.
I'm Krista Wolf, and I did a model and an illustration on the eye.
Hi, my name is Michelle Tobin, and I did fast facts in the glossary, and that.
Hi, my name is Kelly Bowden, and my name's Molly Pigeon. We just did this diorama on the rainforest, and if we don't help our rainforest soon, it might look like the one that we made. This is the tiger, one of the animals that lives in it. The tigers could become extinct, just like our rainforests. Thank you.
I'm McLaughlin, and this is a solar system table. And this is like a model of the solar system with all the planets.
My name is Christy Snow. Our project is on rocks and minerals. Crystals have to grow in large spaces and have lots of light. Minerals are found in the Earth's crust. There are many kinds of minerals. The hardest one is a diamond. The softest one is talc.
I'm Jessica. Diamonds can be used for many things, such as jewelry,
industry and sorbents. But minerals, another mineral is fool's gold. Rocks come in many shapes, styles, and sizes and colors. You can find them everywhere. The end.
Hi, I'm Dave Johnson, and I did my project on Native Americans. And the Pueblo Indians live in the southwest in the desert. This is how the Pueblo Indians live. Their homes are made of grass and mud, sun-dried bricks called adobe. The word Pueblo means village in Spanish.
My name is Dina Antilli. The Indians used animals for food and clothing. They also used canoes to go across bodies of water. They used fire for warmth and cooking.
My name is Daniel Cheney. Indians used weapons like spears, arrows, bow and arrows, and moose jaws. Here are some examples of arrowheads, war and hunting arrows.
My name is John D. Pasquale. Indians didn't use the letters like the ABCs what we do now. They used pictures. Here's a story I made up myself at home. It's a story. It says, a man climbed a mountain, discovered a lake, bull country, corn, and buffalo country. He climbed back down, camped for 3 nights and 3 days. He returned to village. And here's some Indian games. This one's toss ball, but only they didn't use a tennis ball. They used buckskin filled with grass or cotton, and they put a string on it. Here's a game called Poem. It's a guessing game. You try to see how much sticks are in one little package, and this keeps score. And this is a tent. Like this isn't really the size of a tent, but this would probably be like what they'd use. They put stories around it.
Hi, my name is Joshua Howard. Our project is on the rainforest, and we did a diorama here, and we did all these reports about what the rainforest has and what happens. Okay, I'm gonna read. Me and Peter are gonna read the before and after happens. Okay. Before civilization came to the rainforest, it was lush and full of greens, plants, and animals. The rainforest was untouched. Da-boom. Peter, go.
I'm Peter Rachel, and we did stuff. After civilization came to the rainforest was destroyed. Take a look. And right here is layers of stuff. Here's the urban, that's the tallest tree. The canopy is the layer below the herbage. And then here climbs that grow on the trees to climb up because they're too small. And this is the subcanopy. Here's the rainforest here. Carbon dioxide goes through and then comes out. It traps it absorbs CO2, would be released, and the world's climate would be warmed considerably because KO traps the heat in the atmosphere. This is known as global warming. When the rainforest cover removes, there's nothing to hold the water. It runs off, leaving droughts and with floods.
And this over here shows how the rainforest is destroyed. And that's our project.
Hi, my name is Carrie, and my project for the science fair was on the eye. Here are my 2 reports about the eye.
here are all the resources. And here's a chart that I looked up all the diseases from the eye, and these were the 3 most common ones. My name is Nick Loja, and I did my project on endangered species, the whale, the dolphin, and the tiger. On some of these pictures, on the whale, I did pictures of the body of a blue whale and the head of a killer whale, which a blue whale is a plankton eater. The plankton is like a mustache on the inside of its mouth that takes plankton and lets water pass through, and it grabs plankton. On the killer whale, it has teeth and it's a meat eater. It mostly eats seals, seals and other water mammals that swim in the water and on the land. It lives in Antarctica it mostly lives in cold weather. It lives in Antarctica mostly. Sometimes, once in a while, you'll catch a glimpse of one up north in Alaska. And another endangered species I did is the dolphin. In this picture, you see a bottle cap nose dolphin, which is one of the most endangered dolphins in the world. The biggest dolphin that's around is the bottle cap nose dolphin. And in this picture, it shows just a blue dolphin. And dolphins speak. They don't speak like we do. They have a high-pitched sound that they speak through. And I did and on these, you see Bengal tigers. The Bengal tigers always, when they lie down, they always have to stretch out their claws and their legs. And when the tiger hunts its prey, it waits until a pack is ready. Mostly female tigers hunt. The male tigers watch, and the male tigers kill, mostly. And in this picture, you see the tiger stalking, and the tiger sleeping lying in this picture. And that's all that I did on my endangered species. And I used a book called Whales and Dolphins, and a book called Cats. The cats and other cats and dogs. And on these, I used the same thing, whales and dolphins. And on some, I used the book called Whales, which just came out this year.
Hi, my name is Jenny Michaud, and this is Carrie Terranova. We did our project on the solar system. The solar system is fun and interesting. We have a mobile with the planets in their orbits, a poster board with information on it, and a book on things in the solar system, and our report. That's our project for the Science and Social Studies Fair. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Danny Weber, and I'm doing my report on the rainforest. Here are some things that are found in the rainforest.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mark Peters. We get most of our medicines and some of our foods from the rainforest.
Hi, I'm Brian Considine, and I'm doing the rainforest with them, and I made a demonstration of a live rainforest. I put in plants, some stuff from the yard, and that's all.
I'm Chris Calloway in grade 4 in Miss Kelly's class, and my project was on sharks, whales, and dolphins. I have a couple of photos of whales and dolphins. I have a report on sharks, the great white shark, the bull shark, the blue whale, the narwhal, the killer whale, and the bottlenose dolphin. And I have a mobile, and I have a couple of reference books that I used. I have 2 charts, and I have 2 models.
Bruce McGinnis. And my name is Jonathan Patterson. And my name is Brian Witham. This is our project on sharks, cheetahs, and snowy owl. Everybody thinks that sharks are dangerous, but they're not. Some of them are, but some of them are. Sharks are more frightening than us than we are of them. Hi, my name is Danny Menezes.
My name's Colin Sheehan.
Recently, we done a report on sharks. The reason I done this on sharks because sharks is one of my favorite animals. They're also they're meat eaters, and I like to eat meat too.
This is made out of material. The great white's bleeding. The other great white smells the blood and he's going to eat that shark. The dolphin can beat up the hammerhead by whacking it out of the water and keep whacking it, and the hammerhead soon drowns and dies, and then they eat it. And over here is clay demonstration. The victim is bleeding. The shark senses the blood. The shark bites from rear. The shark swims away and waits for victim to bleed to death. Then shark comes back and eats him.
I made a graph on shark's body temperature. Here's the muscle temperature. And when the shark dived into deeper water, the shark's body temperature stayed 7 degrees higher, 4 degrees higher than the seawater right here. Okay, that's it.
Hi, I'm Nick Saporito, and we chose to make an invention that turns on a light. We chose it so that it makes life simpler. What you do is you drop a marble down the chute and it starts.
How we made this invention is we started out at my house and we got all the supplies ready. Then we planned it out on a paper, and then we put together the marbles and the tubes, and that's how we built it.
And how it works is we drop the marble. Dave, why did you clog it up? Snaps and oops, and it goes down and hits this. This falls and makes this go down and hit the switch, and the light goes on.
My name is Adam DiPasquale.
My name is Sean Barry.
We did the water feeder thingamabob. What it does, you throw the marble right down there. It hits the trap pulls the string. It sets off this needle right there, and it hits the balloon. The balloon water goes into the bucket, and then the animals get to drink. Now we'll do a demonstration. The invention works well.
Hi, I'm Adam Muchler.
I'm Brian Long.
And we made an invention that can serve milk for your cereal, or it can have water for your pets. And we have like a miniature plane. It goes down that line.
And then it hits the ball, and then it knocks over the cup, and then it goes into the bucket.
And now we'll do a demonstration. And that's our invention.
Hi, my name is Karen Seiki. I did my report on the planets. I made paper mache planets and made them in different sizes. Then I colored them and I painted them and then I put them on the board. I labeled them with their names, and then for my report I wrote about the 9 planets and how you can spot them and what one is. And on my poster I showed another diagram of the planets and a few facts about them down bottom.
Hi, I'm Anthony Zabo. This is
Kuchinana. Jimmy Tabor.
And we made a can crusher. And what happens is first you roll a ball down here, and it goes through the tube, hits the domino rally, which sets the dominoes off, and this goes up and pushes the weight down, which hits this and makes the spoon fall, and raises up the hook, which makes the brick fall down onto the can. And that's what our machine does.
As you can see, my Science and Social Studies Fair project is on astronomy. My project is a mixture of the sun, the planets, the sun and the planets. The constellations consist of Cancer, Cassiopeia, Cepheus, Draco, Leo, Scorpius, Orion, Ursa Minor, also known as Little Dipper, Hercules, and Gemini. I've also made a colorful illustration of the sun and planets in their rightful order. I have also included some facts about my project. I've answered some questions as how much the Earth weighs to how far away Pluto is from the sun. Science books and almanacs have come a long way since 1973. I've got an almanac from 1992 and from 1973. And if you go to the astronomy and calendar section in both books, you'll see many differences. And that's my project on astronomy.
Hi, my name is Erica Gemilaro.
I'm Alicia Tetwell.
And I'm Michelle. We made a plant watering device to help you water your plant. We put ice here, and this is to keep a terrarium made out of plastic bottles to keep the water moist, to keep the plant moist. And we put ice inside here so when it melts, it'll go down and water the plant. It makes it easier for you so you don't have to water it by yourself. You can just put it in there and entertain yourself while it melts. And we've made a poster of what it's made out of, and that's what our invention is.
Hi, my name is Brian Matha.
And I'm Mike Downs.
Our project is a bell ringer that rings a bell. And the way it works is the marble goes down the chute, goes through the wheel, goes down into the funnel, goes down the inclined plane, hits the mousetrap, and pulls the piece of paper out, which makes like a circle, so electricity goes through and it rings. And here it works. And that's how it works.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Chingisi, and I'm doing this is one of the 2 projects that I'm doing for the Science and Social Studies Fair, and I'm doing this one. It's about separating the hydrogen and the oxygen in the water, and how you do it is by hooking up the battery to the two pencils, and when the electricity runs through the lead, it goes in onto the other side of the pencils, and that's how it separates the hydrogen from the oxygen in the water. And then on my other project this year, I did the U.S. in 1850 with their territories. I set up the United States with as many details as I could think of. I have the key for the 3 trails, which are the California Trail, actually 4, the California Trail, the Trail of Lewis and Clark, Oregon Trail, and Pike's Route. I have them set up in pretty much the same way they were traveled. And I have the Rocky Mountains set up exactly what they are. I have the Sierra Nevada Mountains, also with the Mississippi Territory and the Indiana Territory. I have the also the states mapped out, and with the states mapped out in 1850 that were really claimed back then. I have the, mainly the 13 and other ones that were founded, and with that I have Mississippi Territory and the Appalachian Mountains. That's it. That's my project.
This is our ice cream machine, and what you do is you pull the rope, and different Jimmys and M&Ms and stuff fall out of the cups onto the ice cream. And you have ice cream, and it's by Katie and Kim.
Doesn't matter. Now.
My name is Katie Hickey, and we chose to do the 5 ages of change. I did glaciers. Glaciers are large masses of ice. Because of their size and weight, they crush everything that's underneath them. And this is the size a big cruise boat looks to the size of a glacier.
I did groundwater and I don't know what to say. Both rain and melted snow can soak into the ground. Groundwater is an agent of change. Some rocks are eroded by groundwater. Certain minerals that make up rocks dissolve in groundwater.
And I did 5 agents of change. I did running water. Running water forms gullies and valleys and sort of pits. It forms by rain and just leftover water.
I was another one that did 5 inches of change, and one of them was wind. Wind forms topsoil blowing away. It also forms by sandstorms in the desert. It also can be very dangerous if you're near the sandstorms because it can go in your eyes or even in your mouth. And over here it shows how it can move.
Hi, I'm Derek Mazza.
I'm Danny Keating.
And I'm Andy Myers. Our invention cuts a cucumber or any type of food, and it starts like this. You turn the crank or the gear so it will make the ball fall down, which will hit that and make the rock fall down, and the rock will hit the scissors, which cuts that string that releases the knife that cuts the thing, or the food.
John Gillis, and I did an invention that waters a plant. I started my invention when Mr. Smith told us that we were going to be doing inventions for science projects. My invention is this crank. You just take this lever and push it up so that the ball goes down the chute, hits that, the water goes into the bucket, and the bucket goes down into the plant, which waters the plant. Now I'm going to do a demonstration.
Growing. And I'm Matt Jones. We made an invention to put candy on a plate. It starts by you pull this back, you hit the marble goes down, hits the mousetrap will pull the string, the pencil will go up, and then the candy will go down. This is our demonstration.
We did our science fair project on rats, and my name is Heather.
My name is Kristen.
My name is Nicole. And Kristen's going to talk first.
Rats play an important part in scientific research. A drug company researcher measured weight changes in a rat that has been given an important medicine. When newborn rats are born, they cannot see or hear. They stay in the nest with their mother for about 3 weeks. We did some posters on rats, and here's a picture of a rat up there, and we did it on rats' lives and what they eat. And some of the things they eat are some kinds of Cheerios and cereal and stuff. They eat grease, any grease that they can find. They get corn, and their shelter is in the middle, like right in front of the food, and the bedding is made out of grass, and it's on the side of the shelter, and the water is over here. So when all species of rats have a slender, scaly tail and long, sharp claws, but black rats or brown rats differ in several ways besides color.
And we made a diagram of rats and two kinds of rats.
We did the diagram on here's a roof rat and a Norway rat, and we did like telling what, because the Norway, it's saying what about the roof rat and the Norway rat, how they differ from each other. Like the nose is pointed on the roof rat and it's blunt on the Norway rat, and down here is the young rat and the house rat, and it's saying that the feet are larger on the young rat, and on the house rat the feet are smaller, and the head on the house rat is smaller and it's larger on the young rat.
Project on bubbles. By doing a project, we found out what a bubble is and how you can make a bubble, and Katie will demonstrate. Yeah, we found out that pipe cleaners can work to make a bubble, and I'll demonstrate. See? And you can use this too. We found out that a bubble is really 3 bubbles in one. There's an outside layer of water, an inner layer of soap, and an outer layer of water. And that's basically what...
Hi, my name is Patrick Sullivan, and this is
Evan O'Neill.
We're doing the respiratory system, mainly the lungs. See, right here we made a lung, and this is the diaphragm right here, which is a muscle controlled by your brain. Now when your muscle goes up, down, your lungs expand, and when they go up, they expand. And Evan's going to tell you some symptoms of the lungs.
Okay. If you have emphysema, the symptoms of that are shortness of breath, which will worsen over a period of time. Development of barrel-like shape on your chest. The symptoms of asthma are shortness of breath, wheezing, tightness of the chest, and difficultness of breathing. And Pat will tell you some more.
Okay, and you can also get, there's some diseases that will happen. You can get emphysema and cardiobronchitis.
And this is Danielle. We did our project on skin. These are some kinds of skin: synthetic skin, meshed xenograft, and meshed autograft. The autografting is for when you take skin off a burnt piece and put synthetic skin over. Here we have the dermis and the epidermis, and this is the degrees of burns. Here you have the first degree, here's the second degree and the third degree. And the first and second degree can be healed by themselves, but the third degree has to be healed by treatment. And here we have some solutions of work putting on the burns, and dressings and wraps that you put around them. And that's about it.
And for the science fair, I made an invention. It's called Dogomatic, the Incredible Machine. What it does is it makes life easier for you because, well, if you feed the dog every morning, and that night you could fill up that little cup right there with dog food, and then in the morning when you're in a rush going to school or whatever, and the dog needs to be fed, drop the ball bearing
down here. It goes down the marble holder, through the funnel, hits the mouse trap. The string lets go, and it lets the dog food fall, and I'll demonstrate. And that's about how it works.
Todd Aldridge, and this is...
Hi, I'm Billy Johnstone.
And we did our project on for the science fair on Abraham Lincoln and his log cabin. Well, Abraham Lincoln was one out of 5 presidents to be born and raised in a log cabin. This is mainly what his log cabin looked like, and many other log cabins. And how the Americans learned to make log cabins was the European settlers came over here and they taught Americans how to take logs, cut them off trees, and shape them in the form of cut the ends in clean cuts and make a log cabin. And Abraham Lincoln was considered a frontier boy. He helped his mother and father out around the house a lot, getting wood for the fire, and they usually have small fireplaces either in the back or coming up from the side. And inside, over in the corner, is usually a fireplace, and that's mainly what our project is.
He's got 7 continents.